Okay.
Let me try to get the Wi-Fi.
No, no, we're good. We're good. It's I'm using a
I'll get
beta.
Wi-Fi for Patreon.
Exactly, exactly. I've got this beta version of the Switcher software that's introducing all kinds of crazy anomalies that I'm just familiarizing myself with, but we should be live now. That small misstep on my part screwed us up, but we will be coming on tonight for the premiere episode of the newest show in my Only on Patreon series, More Paine, featuring, of course, Michael Moore, the symbol, formerly known as Thomas Paine of True Pundit.
More Paine.
More Paine. More Paine. How are you today, Michael?
Busy day, news day. It's a little bit crazy, but we're winding it down, so it's a good time to chat about a lot of things that are going on.
Absolutely, and I think it's exciting for people to see you there in your True Pundit environment. Why don't we dive into some of the headlines and just give people kind of an overview of what we're going to be talking about just 28 minutes from now when we do our first episode of More Paine, only on Patreon. And I would, of course, also remind people that they should be sponsoring True Pundit on Patreon. You're going to get the live stream exclusively on patreon.com/TruePundit or patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth.
Well, one of the things I like to do is just cruise over different headlines, because a lot of the day we spend here just looking over headlines, and we either say, hey, that's a pretty good story we can do something with. The opposite end of that is, hey, this story is completely ridiculous. So what we have here is we have live feeds of pretty much everything going on in the entire world. There's a lot of different screens here and a lot of things going on. But so we get real-time stuff from anything from trending stories in North America to trending tweets, things like that, and big stories. And some of the stuff is just completely ridiculous. The Democrats and the liberals are out of control today, so stuff gets thrown at us just it's nonstop. You have to process this stuff real quick.
Right.
So it'll be fun to go over some of that stuff, and we'll be able to talk about news as it breaks. If we're talking about something and something pops up on the screen or something big breaks, we can talk about that. We had a story today. We'll be talking about DOJ blows whistle on Mueller, illegally threatened Flynn with new indictment and prison for helping GOP candidates. That's a big story we had. I was glad that we got that together over the weekend.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about that. That's a very interesting story and has, I think, important undertones on what's been going on. And there's other stuff. There's this Bob Woodward book, which is out of control, which, he has a history of being out of control, as does the Washington Post. I mean, he's gotten away with it for years, but now that the internet, now that social media, he can't get away with as much as he used to, and neither can the Washington Post. We'll talk about some of that. Trump just came out a couple minutes ago and said that Woodward is a Dem operative, which I thought was great. He's probably not that far off. I mean, he's called CIA Bob in Washington for a reason. So I don't want to get too much into Woodward because he's like a relic. You know what I mean? I mean, the guy's like, he hasn't done anything in 50 years, really. And he didn't do anything. Any respect that I had for him was lost during the 8 years he sat on his thumbs when Obama was in office, and propped him up as some type of a incredible president. So he lost his credibility.
Kevin Shipp has said that Bob Woodward was known to be a CIA asset.
Well, look at his reporting. I mean, we'll talk about this as things. We're not going to get into it right now, right? Because we're just doing a little promo action.
Yeah, this is just a preview to let people know that they should be going over to patreon.com, where they're going to get our exclusive live stream that's going to begin at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And of course, people who are sponsors of True Pundit on Patreon, you can just go to patreon.com/TruePundit and become a sponsor right now, or just a few minutes after we finish. You become a patron, and you'll get the live stream there. You can also get the live stream by sponsoring Crowdsource the Truth at patreon.com/Crowdsource the Truth. Just $1 per month is going to get you these free live streams. And if you want the exclusive newsletter, you're going to be interested in joining True Pundit for $8.58 per month. That is a carefully calculated sum, but you're going to get inside updates on big Intel projects and really exclusive. Oh, I see. It's half of 1776. Ah, very.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, people call us half-assed. We go off half-assed, so I guess that makes sense.
Well, we definitely want people to be sponsoring True Pundit. And, you know, Michael, the reason I started this whole Only on Patreon series is because YouTube really seems to have been taken over by this troll class of individuals who control thousands of fake accounts that are able to manipulate the YouTube algorithm, downvote videos, put strikes on videos, force people off of YouTube. We've seen Google and Apple and Spotify and Facebook knock Alex Jones right off of their platforms. And without getting into a conversation about what any particular viewer might think about Alex Jones, I really object to the notion that these big billionaire corporations can decide what people get to look at and what is or is not news. So by creating Only on Patreon and having shows like More Paine with Michael Thomas Paine Moore, the symbol formerly known as Thomas Paine of True Pundit, this really allows people to buy back their right to watch what they want for as little as $1 per month. So I think it's a small amount compared to what people would be spending on coffee from Starbucks or something like that, to not allow these huge corporations to dictate what you can and cannot see.
Well, we went the other way. We just decided to quit Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, YouTube. We said, well, let's just ditch it.
Right.
And so whenever we have something we use for a video, we'll use a Rumble or something like that. But I said, why are we waiting around for these guys to chop our heads off? Because it's probably coming, even though we didn't use it that much. But we had some good videos on there with a lot of high content, high viewership. I said, let's just ditch these guys. I don't have anything to do with it. Same way we ditched Amazon Cloud, Amazon servers and Amazon Cloud. I said, let's just get away from these people. These people are crazy. Like, it's none of their business what we're doing, and why should they have any bearing over our business? So, you know, maybe Alex Jones should have got his own server and controlled his own videos. That probably would have been a good move for him. Although it's very expensive to do that, but still, you never have to worry about anybody taking your stuff down.
Well, that's just
Alex had a lot of content that he generated, you know, video content, and he was leaving it up to chance with these YouTube maniacs, these people. You know, you don't want to put your hard-earned work and your fate in the hands of someone like Google.
Right.
And, you know, it goes on and on and on because Google controls a lot of the online ads.
Yeah.
So it's hard to navigate for conservatives with ads, with video content, and it's been hard for us. You persevere, but if we were a liberal site, we'd be rolling in the dough. I know that for sure.
Absolutely.
We would be rolling in the dough. It's so much easier for our liberal sites.
Right. So we definitely don't want Google or Twitter or Facebook or any of these giant corporations to be deciding what our viewers can watch. It's important that people go over to patreon.com/TruePundit and become a patron. You're going to join us in just 20 minutes from now for the first episode of More Paine. It's going to be available exclusively only on Patreon, either at patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth, or the same feed will be available on patreon.com/TruePundit. And we're going to be going over today's most important headlines and getting really insightful analysis from Michael Moore. You're the founder of True Pundit, aren't you?
I'm one of the founders. Yeah.
One of the founders.
People think this is like, oh, it's just like I'm some kind of wizard. There's a group of people here involved in this.
Right.
And
all right.
So I'm the front man. I'm like a poor man's Roger Daltrey.
Very good. So people are
Without
going to
the
join
good
us
looks
in
and without the
just
voice.
right. People are going to join us in just 20 minutes over on Patreon.
Yeah, we'll see you guys then.
See them then. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you on Patreon. Only on Patreon for more Paine, 8:30 p.m. Eastern tonight.